Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unboxing Women, where we explore the gender gap in the music and entertainment industry. If you are active in the music business, an independent artist, a musician, or are just curious about how it all works, then this pod is for you. My name is Dana Rex, and with me is my friend Micah Rose. We are both independent recording artists based in Europe, and we are here to reveal what really goes on behind the scenes. You can listen to us on our YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast platform, where you are now. Welcome to our last episode of Season 4. I cannot believe we're already there.
Yeah, I feel like we say that every time, but every time we're really shocked.
Yes, it's true. It's true. We are shocked.
It is. Yeah, no, it is shocking. It's, I don't know if anybody who hasn't done a podcast maybe can't relate to 100%, but I guess it's kind of like realizing the year is already over and you're like, where has the time gone?
Well, time flies when you're having fun. So
yeah,
I guess that counts for something.
So last episode of season 4, we have a special topic today. We are talking about Shania Twain.
Yes.
So this was something Dana really wanted to talk about. And honestly, I knew next to nothing about Shania Twain. And I decided to do a little Google. And I clicked on a YouTube video that was 7 minutes long. And I was like, how much can they cover in 7 minutes? Turns out they can cover a fuck ton in 7 minutes. Like, that woman has gone through some shit.
She has.
It's insane. Like, I thought, oh well, it's 7 minutes. What could possibly have happened?
Yeah, no, that's why I wanted to talk about her, because I know that she's been through a lot and it's just insane. And when I found out, I also didn't know that, all the things that she had gone through in her life. And it just made me look at her in a different way with a lot more respect. Like, I loved her before, but I was just amazed afterwards. I'm like, oh my God, how can this have happened to one person? Poor thing. And just to come out so strong is amazing. She's such a strong woman, and really
insane.
Yeah, an example to all of us. Cross genre, whatever genre you may be in. It's just Listen to this. Let's start the story of Shania Twain.
Yeah, go ahead.
She was born in 1965 as Eileen Regina Edwards in Ontario, Canada. And she was actually adopted by a guy called Twain. So that's where the last name comes from. Yes. And this guy, so she was adopted when she was like very small, like 2 or something, I think. And so her father, her adoptive father, who she calls her father, was physically and verbally abusive towards her and her mother.
Yeah.
And the things she talks about is, the things she describes about this is just crazy. So there's an incident where she talks about that he shoved her mother's head in the toilet, and that she actually thought that her mother, she was sitting there in the room, in the bathroom apparently, for some reason. And so she saw the whole thing, and she actually thought that her mother was dead after this.
She thought she drowned.
Yeah. So she's like sitting there, like basically thinking her mom is dead while she's unconscious and still hanging in the toilet. It's just crazy stuff. So he also sexually abused her, Shania Twain, from the age of 10. And so when she talks about this, she doesn't really go into detail of what happened exactly. It's not about what happened exactly. It's about that she feels that it's important to talk about the fact that it happened so that other people know, I quote, that it's possible to survive it. So how insane is that, It's something that you wouldn't think of when you see her perform or, texts in her songs. She doesn't go over this.
Yeah.
At all.
I think it's really insane because as performers, it's kind of like as actors, you have to kind of put on a happy persona a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you feel like if you're a generally happy person as well, and then you have bad days, nobody can see those bad days because you kind of fans feel like you owe it to them to be happy. Like if you're a bitch on one day, you're going to be the bitch for the rest of the year. Like it's weird. So I think I don't know if she didn't just want to have it hanging over her, or if she got through it a different way. Because I know I do a lot of my processing through songwriting.
Well, she might have done. It's a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she was actually 27 when she got her record deal. And it's basically because, well, she went through all of that and never actually let it stop her.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should say. And so she finally did get that record deal, and now she is who she is. And we kind of don't go into whatever life she had before, you know? So she might have, when she was younger, written maybe songs that were more about this, or for her to digest, you know, what was happening, or get over some things. But those songs didn't really, I think, see the light unless, you know, somebody can tell me otherwise and say, okay, this song that came out when she got her record deal was a song she wrote like, I don't know, 15 years prior. But I don't think that those songs are
probably not
chosen by a record label.
Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, the thing is, right, that's just where it starts. It just starts with her, obviously with her abuse. And then, I mean, they were also really poor.
Yes.
So she wouldn't have very nutritious meals.
She would go to school hungry without having had breakfast and without having lunch with her. So yeah, to give a little bit of background to everyone. So she grew up, I quote this from internet, she grew up chopping wood and hunting to supplement their food supply. Hunting to supplement their food supply. So the chopping wood actually comes in because Mr. Twain had like a wood cutting company or something. So she went to help as a kid. She went to help to chop wood in his company, and then she would also go hunting to have food on the table. And her parents fought a lot and violently. She actually thought they're gonna kill each other, you know. And she would wake up in the middle of the night to make sure everybody was still breathing, you know, just to put that kind of responsibility on a girl, because she had a bunch of siblings too. It's like not only her. So yeah, her mother suffered from depression, obviously, with all of this. So her home life was far from ideal. She didn't tell anyone about her problems. And because she was afraid that it would kind of separate her family, that the state would jump in and separate them. Yeah. So she convinced her mother to move everyone to a homeless shelter in Toronto in 1979 to get away from this man. And so she's basically the teenage girl who helped her mother and siblings escape to a battered women's shelter and to put an end to this violence in her family. And that didn't end their relationship, though, because when she was 22, her parents died together in a car accident. So they were still seeing each other, basically, when she was old enough to not be there anymore. And then she had to take care of her 3 younger siblings at 22 after they died. Can you imagine?
That's actually, no, it's insane. That's also actually one of the reasons she got her record deal so late. Yeah, because she had to obviously take a break and take care of her family.
No, no money to pay the rent or groceries. So she did sing, though. She did sing in bars to get money to already at a very young age, as a teenager, she did that to complement the family income. But then I'm just wondering, did her parents really buy groceries with that, or did they just like buy, I don't know, drugs?
Well, I don't know.
Cigarettes, or use it for themselves. Alcohol, in a toxic place like this, it's never ending, right?
Yeah.
So I'm when I heard this was Shania Twain's past, I nearly couldn't believe it, because she's such a great person. And to know that she went through that in her childhood is just so heartbreaking, really.
Yeah. That's true.
So what were you thinking when you found out about this?
Well, I don't have a lot to do with Shania Twain. I know of her and her music, but I'm not like a fan like you. I'm sure I love her music. I'm just not an active fan.
I wouldn't say I was a fan, though. I do know a couple of things. I've never bought like an album or anything, so I guess that doesn't really make me a fan. She was my neighbor at one point. Did I tell you this?
Oh yeah, you did tell me. In Greece, was it?
No, not in Greece, in France. So my mom had a house in France. In this valley near was it Rosières, near Avignon, basically. And this is a place where a lot of people like Kevin Costner and John Malkovich also have houses in that same valley. Our house wasn't that huge, okay? Just before people start assuming things. Our house was like the small house, okay?
Yeah.
Which we
and
actually,
it was before they were expensive.
Out. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and across from us, obviously there's a lot of space in between, but we live like in a very small street, like a tiny street where there's only our house and the neighbor's house you can go, and on the opposite side there's this huge corner with this massive house, and they brought, so it was the Forbes's house, and they brought in trees from somewhere, asps, I think it was. So they had them flown in to like be put in their garden. It's like this huge house with stables. This is very important. And so the Forbeses sold it to Shania Twain. So she became our neighbor, and she actually jogged through our street and then into the meadows around with her security guards jogging behind her. So we were like sitting at the pool, tiny pool, and we would see Shania.
This is not Dana trying to say like I was not rich.
Music does not make you money, guys, really.
Yeah. Certainly
not as an independent artist. So and we would see her run past with her security team doing her daily jog. So yeah, that so I guess amazing.
You have a little bit more of contact with her then, because I'm guessing you then at least then looked up like what she does.
Yes, exactly. That made me a little bit more interested in Shania Twain, and I obviously already liked the very popular songs and the hits that she had. And I also found something else out by researching this, actually. Is that in the beginning, she wanted to do like normal pop music, maybe even a bit pop rocky. But a vocal coach, which she was friends with, actually told her that her voice suited country more. And she did not like that. She was like, no, I'm not doing country. And they got into a massive fight and they didn't talk anymore. But then afterwards, Shania had to kind of admit that maybe country was indeed the way to go. And she did. And look what happened.
Yeah. It's a little bit sad though. Like if she wanted to do pop or pop rock, she should have been able to do pop or pop rock.
Well, after that, she did, She did.
Yeah,
she did do whatever she wanted. But I guess in the meantime, she has realized she's kind of fallen in love with country.
Yeah, which is good.
And she does it so well. And she's realized that it is what she does. And she loves her fans so much that she just stuck with it. And she loves it. But so the preliminary story from like in the beginning of her label deal is also this of like the struggle with genres and no, I actually want to do this, but what do other people think or say? And you know, you have to do that. We have to kind of do what we say to for us to make you. I'm not sure it happened completely that way, because I do have the impression with all the explanations that she gave that she stuck with her thing. She always, you know, she never let anything stop her. So even that, you know, it didn't stop her, because she could have just, you know, not wanted to do that and then tried something else and not have it work. But she persisted and it worked, even though she did say, okay, let me try the country route then.
I don't know. I think it's really interesting. And like, having said, we haven't even covered half of what the 6-minute video or 7-minute video had before, because there's more. Right?
Tell us.
Because she got married to her
right, there's a marriage as well, which went completely wrong.
Yeah. So she got married to her what's it called, manager and co-writer.
Don't do that, people.
Yeah, don't do that.
Look at Sunny and Cher and Tina and Ike and all of the above.
Yeah. So
Whitney Houston as well.
I know so many. She basically, I think they were married for about 10 years. And then I think it was in 2008 that they split up because he was in love with her
best friend.
Best friend and some sort of assistant.
And they were having an affair, apparently. Well, they're not admitting it, but apparently they were. While her best friend was actually counseling her on, you know, oh, I'm a little bit unhappy with my husband. What should I do? And she was fucking the guy. Oh my God.
Which is insane.
It's insane. So yeah, I mean, and also the timing of that, like around 10 years, that's the time you need to realize and to get away from the narcissist that you're with. That's always what they say in narcissistic abuse situations, is that it does take that long for the victim basically to realize that they're in this relationship with a person like that, and to find the strength to actually leave them. It's around 10 years every time. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. No, it's well, she basically they split up, and she then had dysphonia. So dysphonia, I don't know. Did you hear about this,
vocal
Dana?
cords.
Yeah, exactly.
So some kind of stress that stops you from being able to use them correctly. Obviously, as a singer, it's horrible because she could talk, right? Talking.
Yeah,
yes,
I think she could talk, but she couldn't sing.
Yeah.
And it took her, I think, years to get back to kind of singing again, and she still says she sounds different. I haven't listened to clips of before and after. I'm sure she's right though. And I'm like, was that the marriage? Was that the marriage splitting apart that caused the dysphonia, or is that something that just happened?
I think it must be some kind of extra. Yeah, I mean the stress of it all, and I think that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I think so too. Interestingly enough, she did get together with the I don't know if ex-husband or I think ex-husband of her best friend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, got her back in a way.
Well, they were already split up because of the whole thing. But if you find your soulmate on the other side, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So she is happy now, and she's working through all of the latest things. Good. It's really crazy.
I'm sorry, but it's really insane to me. The worst fear I have as a singer is to lose my voice.
Yeah.
It's for something to happen to it. I remember I got my wisdom teeth out when I was 18. I'd just been accepted to university to study music, and as a vocalist. And the guy who was going to take out my wisdom teeth, he sat me down and he was like, "Oh yeah, and there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that your vocal cords might change."
I know.
And I sat there,
God.
and I freaked out. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I panicked, and I had to go twice because I had to have both sides removed. And and the second time I had a full-on panic attack. Like I literally, I am so happy that nothing happened, because 1 in 10,000 is not a super small thing.
No, that's like
1 in a million. Sure. 1 in 100,000. Yeah, okay. 1 in 10,000 is not that huge of like it could happen to me.
Yeah.
So I can't. I think one of the worst things that could happen to me is that I go like mute.
Yeah.
It would just like completely
mute or deaf.
Music is, I think deaf would maybe still be okay, but mute, I don't know. I think both is pretty bad. But,
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
My goodness.
I wouldn't feel like myself. I'd feel like I'd lost one of the best parts of me, which sounds really stupid, but that's how I feel about it.
I think even people who don't sing would like be freaked out if anything would happen to their voice. Obviously, it changing a bit in that case isn't like the end of the world, but losing it, that would be horrible. And I had actually the same thing with my tonsils. So I had, I think it was in 2008, I had this tonsil that they move around, like, right? So they shift around and they don't stay exactly the same your whole life. So mine had shifted a bit and it had created like this little hole where it's a bit disgusting. But yeah, so for people who are listening, I don't know, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but so food was staying in that hole. So anything I ate, there was a bit staying. So it was it you know, I was prone to infections in my throat because of that, and I couldn't it just kept sticking in that little tiny area. Yeah. And so I had to go to this so I started having problems with my throat, and I had to go to like a vocal cord doctor who checked everything out, which is also, you know, disgusting. Jessie J has had this done as well. They like put a camera down your throat to look at your vocal cords, and it's so horrible. And then you know, they had to remove it, so by laser, but like lasering into your throat.
That is so scary.
So it's really scary. And then I had it done, and so I wasn't allowed to. Well, I wasn't allowed to talk much. But for 2 weeks, it takes to heal. So it's like a mega bad burn in your throat. So you can't eat anything either. It's very, very painful. Painkillers the whole time. And then the damn thing closed up into the same kind of hole. No. So I had to go again. Seriously, I had to go again. My God. And then the second time around, it didn't help. Well, it helped a little bit more, but it wasn't like completely what we had hoped. And I said, no, stop this. You know, I have to figure this out in a different way. So I went to other doctors, different things, and some like, oh, we need to like perforate this side so that it can go through and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? In the meantime, I'm like doing these, specific washes in my mouth and in my throat, like daily or even twice a day. And, you know, it ruins your throat as well, because it dries concentrate on it so much. And but anyway, long story short, everything is fine now because it actually did grow out, and it did stop now because tonsils keep moving around. So I didn't go for the third time because I'm like, fuck this, I can't do this. I can't do this. So yeah, I took mega good care of my throat and you know, just made sure it was clean and everything, and it went away on its own. But that was a scare, and it was a scare of years, because I really thought, like, you know, I'm gonna have to have this done at one point. You know, do I really have to do that again? We actually went to a doctor who was going to laser me without putting me to sleep. So yeah, because every time they have to put you to sleep as well, which obviously also isn't great because of the risks. Oh my God. I can't believe I actually told you guys.
Well, I think it's very fitting in this conversation. And I just think the thing is, it's not just when something happens to your voice as a singer, it's not just, okay, I have to find a different way to communicate, or I need to, learn to live with my new voice, or I need to be careful, or it's not those things. The thing that happens is that your life flashes before your eyes because you've built your entire life and your entire career on this one thing, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's very scary and it's depressing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I can't believe that she actually got back from that. That is absolutely insane. It's like one of the worst things that can happen. And she brought out another fucking album.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Good on her. Yeah, she's so strong. She is so strong. I love her. I love her to bits. She just epitomizes strength in a woman of, you can go through, she went through everything that you can go through, basically, and she's still there. She's still doing what she loves, and singing and creating and making her fans feel good and being there for them.
And feeding young children as well.
There you go. What does she do for charities?
I only know of this one charity that she does, which feeds children who were in her situation.
There you go.
Basically, who don't have a lot of money and so don't have a lot of food, and who maybe don't want to talk about it. So she tries to give them a easy way to just get a meal and get fed and get support that way.
Yeah. And in the meantime, she's like the best-selling country artist in the world.
Oh yeah, just on the side.
On the side. Yeah, so on that note, this is the last episode. So we will see you back in season 5. We will be posting about that soon. So we're just taking the summer off. Well, it is summer. We're taking August off to see, what we're doing and to plan stuff. And then we will be posting about, the new season and what is going on later on. Well, you'll see posts
so check out our Instagram. If you're not following us on Instagram yet, you need to follow us on Instagram. Yes. Otherwise you're going to miss out.
Yes. All our funny bits are on there.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. This is the final episode of Unboxing Women this season. If you've ever had an experience you want to share with us, please let us know. Send us a DM, tag us in your post with the hashtag suchbitch, or send us an email at suchbitch@unboxingwomen.com. Don't forget to drop us a like on Instagram or wherever you're listening. My name is Micah Rose and I've been chatting with Donna X. This was the finale of season 4, so we'll see you again next season. If you're feeling bereft, which I can completely understand, because a hole is going to open up in your calendar. Feel free to binge watch our show until we're back. We'll be posting on Instagram. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next season.
Bye.